Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to look at EZA Sin Shenron. EZA just dropped on Global, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at his passive, look at the team build, and we'll jump right into the video. So, with his EZA, he raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage, and greatly lowers defense. His passive is all enemies defense minus 50%, attack and defense plus 100, he gets defense and crit chance plus 7% per GT Bosses category ally on the team, and he performs a guaranteed crit with 7 or more key spheres. So, his passive is actually kind of interesting, but there are some definite problems with this unit, but I think I'm going to save that and talk about that as we're doing the showcase. I initially had this guy built with a lot of crit. That was before his EZA. I had a couple extra copies, so I changed some of it over to combo attack. I literally would just dump all crit, like get all the crit off of this guy, because he has guaranteed crit in his passive with 7 or more. Granted, yes, 7 or more isn't always going to happen, but if you're running him, like this guy clearly is meant for GT bosses anyways, and he's going to, like with his kit here, he's going to have, what, a 49% chance to crit, right? 7 times 7 is 49, am I crazy? Yeah, he's going to have like a 49% or whatever that number is, percent chance to crit. And that's better than what hidden potential is going to give you anyway. So I would go all additional, and then I would even give him dodge after that. I mean, just he doesn't need crit. He's got enough in his passive. On his equips, I went like very heavy defense with this guy because I feel like that's what his role is meant to be. I don't have him full level 10 links, but I did get level 10 big bet bosses, and I'm like, all right, that's good enough. We'll stop there. One wonky thing about this guy, well, there's a lot of wonky things about this guy's situation, and I'll talk about it. But the big one is only 6 links, and that's a bummer they didn't just add another link onto him. You know, there's a lot of links that definitely could have helped this guy out, right? All right, so the first wonky thing we're going to get into is the team build. So, the problem with Sin Shenron here is that to get him in his optimal situation, he's built for GT bosses, right? And I didn't even talk about his limited categories. So his limited categories, he's only on GT bosses, Shadow Dragon, and Inhuman Deeds. Literally, out of those 3, there are no 170 leads. So it's impossible to show this guy in an optimal situation because that situation does not exist. We can't get him on a 170 lead. Like, so his optimal situation is a 170 lead with a full GT bosses team. That does not exist. You cannot do that. So the best we can get right now is a 150 lead with full GT bosses, and that's as optimal as we're going to get. The thing that's wonky here is the guy you would want to run in the leader is Physical Omega Shenron. He's only a 150 lead. He's very old and outdated. Nobody runs him. You can't find one on the friends list. Like, it's impossible. Like, unless you, like, literally message and ask somebody to set him, like, you're not going to see him out there. Nobody runs this team. So, I'm bringing a friend LR Super 17. And the only reason, so, like, yes, obviously I could run him as my leader, but I don't have him. So I'm going to run him as the friend leader. Now, the problem with this is I'm pairing him with the Shadow Dragon's lead, which he's not on. So this 17's not getting full leader skill. I'm literally just bringing him so I can get this showcase done. So I'm going to keep Super 17 probably on the other rotation. Well, maybe I'll float him. I don't know. Yeah, I can float him, I guess. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But just ignore 17. He's there just for a leader skill so I can get the showcase done. The only true support I've got here, I mean, I've got several supports, but the only support that's really going to work is this Nova Shenron. He's a 30% attack and defense for Shadow Dragon Saga, so he's actually going to be supporting. We've got this guy who's a support, and by the way, Omega Shenron, like, one of the best stickers in the game. Just look at that. Just take that in. Yeah, so you might not use this guy much, but if you want, like, a beautiful card, like, put a sticker on this guy. Holy buckets, does that look fantastic. This guy's a full power, 2 key, and attack 40%, so he's a decent little support. He's got really good utility that all enemies attack minus 40. Like, that's really good. Like, this guy's useful for, like, Super Battle Road. Like, I would say he's aged well just because he's a support unit. Although the team he supports hasn't aged well, so in that way I guess you can say it counteracts the argument, but just in general, the fact he's a support unit makes him age well, and that attack minus 40%, that's a very unique thing. Like, you don't see that very much. This guy's a really cool card. So we've got him there, but he's not supporting Sin Shenron. And then we have this guy. I tell you right now, I don't know what this guy is, like a contradiction and a half. I don't know what they're thinking with this guy. The big problem with him is he's super class, and so he supports super class Shadow Dragon Saga allies, where like the place you're gonna want to run this guy for linking and stuff is with other Shadow Dragons. So he's got a support passive, but he doesn't support the people you want to run him with. This guy just doesn't make sense. And he gets buffs while attacking extreme. Like, I get what they're going for, because if you watch GT, he actually turns against the Shadow Dragons and, like, for like a split second is kind of like a good guy. I don't think it's enough to warrant him being a super class unit. They should have just kept him extreme, kept his passive extreme. They really dropped the ball with this card, because if you make him extreme, or I mean, it doesn't even bother me that he's super class. Just change his support passive so that he supports all Shadow Dragon Saga. The fact that it's super class allies defense 40%, like, that hurts. That hurts big time. So this, literally the reason why he's here, like, this is just the team you can make. Like, it's such a limited pool of units, and this is my full GT boss kind of setup, right? I also love the way that Dokkan contradicts it. Sorry, I'm going to rant a little bit because there's a lot of things they did wrong with this team. Another contradiction Dokkan has is they've got characters like Oceanus in here and like Nova Shenron in GT bosses, but I would argue they're more like GT villains. They're like the side characters, like Omega and Sin, like they're the boss, right? So I think they need to fix, I'm okay with that, but they need to fix movie bosses and put, like, it should have just been more like the movie villains and not just the bosses. So, yeah, we've got all that going on there. But anyways, yeah, let's jump in here and let's try to get this showcase going here. So this is funny because I've rainbowed this Nova Shenron here. I literally haven't used them once. Because it's like, once again, where am I going to use them? So so Sin Shenron's on rotation too, with my boy Super 17 getting one passive. That's fantastic. Yeah, let's see how this Nova Shenron does. Yeah, we'll put him out with the Omega. That's fine, sure. Let's see what, I'm actually really curious. What's defensively 110k? That's okay. 130k defense for Strength Omega. That's not bad considering how old of an EZA he is. And considering what he's doing in terms of lowering attack and support, like, I don't know, Strength Omega is pretty good. The reason why I feel so bad for units like Strength Omega, he's just so underused because his team has just been so bad, like, for so long. Like, there isn't, like, the Shadow Dragons just need a huge update. So, the big thing I'm going to say with this Sin Shenron, right, I think a lot of people talk this Sin Shenron down. We'll look at him in this showcase. And what makes the Sin Shenron, if you want to call this Sin Shenron bad or underwhelming or mid or whatever, it's not so much because of his kit, it's because of everything else around him, I would argue. I feel like this Sin Shenron, they released him too early. Like, he's not ready to be out yet. His team isn't there. He doesn't have the leader. His team's not ready. I would have rather them have waited to do this EZA with a different, like a full GT celebration where the team's properly built. In the future, I think this Sin Shenron will be useful. And look, we've got all 6 links here with Omega, which is fantastic, including Big Bad Bosses. So let's see. This is a non-supported too. Yeah, 219k defense is actually really, really good. Let's see what kind of attack stat we're getting here. Now remember, he's got built-in crits, so we don't have to worry about that. And we gave him a lot of additionals, so we might see some additionals. He'll probably, take out the Goku here. Okay, about 2 mil, which it's not the craziest thing. But keeping in mind that this is only a 150 leader skill, right? A 150 leader skill, and he's like really defensive. So if he's on a full 170... that defense is going to be what, maybe 250k, something like that, and that attack stat's going to be maybe 2.2, 2.3 mil, maybe in that range. That's not bad. Like, he's not a bad unit. He's just not usable on teams. Like, that's his big problem. Is I think the problem with him is more the team around him, not himself. He's actually not a bad EZA. I don't mind what they did with him. I think he serves a good purpose, and he could be very, very useful. I feel bad for him because the longer it takes for his proper team to come out, like he had, every day he's out that you're not using him, He's just aging without use, right? So the sooner we can get support around him, the better. One of the talked about theories, or one of the themes that people would consider, I think, to be big enough to be an anniversary could be GT, right? Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Omega, something like that. That was what was thought for the worldwide. So if that comes for anniversary, that would be great for this guy because he needs it, you know? Like yeah, look at that, 219k defense. With the full 170 leader skill, I think, yeah, he's sitting around probably 250, like that, just start a turn. And then if we look here, he raises attack and defense on super, right? So he might be pushing 300k defense on super on a 170 team. Unfortunately, there's literally no way we can test it because, you know, he's got to be on a 170 team and full GT bosses. The only 3 categories he has does not have a 170 lead. As far as to my knowledge, if there is one, I don't own it. I don't think, other than Vegeta and Nappa, that's in Human Deeds, right? Shadow Dragon Saga is Omega Shenron or Int Gogeta, but Int Gogeta's is only a side leader skill of 150. And then GT bosses, it's just Android 17, and that's 150. So, yeah, unless I'm crazy, there's not even a 170 lead for him. I would really be curious to look at him on a proper leader skill with a proper team build, right? Okay, I mean, there isn't like too much else I can show. Like he doesn't stack. I mean, we've basically seen it. I think our next turn though will be our best turn. I think we'll have the support on rotation, so I guess we'll get that turn in, and I think we'll just call it a quick showcase. There's not really much else I can show you, right? And this Nova Shenron, by the way, I haven't been commenting on him, but he's been like 1.5, 1.7 mil. And like I said, that's acceptable for a support unit, but when your main team you can't support, I mean, they just messed him up so bad. It's pretty bad when the other Nova that came out way earlier I would consider better just because he actually supports his team properly. I mean, when are you ever going to use that guy? And here's 17 putting up a 1.2 mil. He's like, yeah, I've got half a leader skill. Whatever. I actually hope this doesn't hurt too bad. He's only got half a leader skill. Okay, that's fine. All right, yep, this is our supported turn, so I think this is going to be it. Yeah, with support now. So imagine Shadow Dragons, right? And by the way, I'm on Global. We don't have the Shadow Dragon LR. Once you have that Shadow Dragon LR, that's a huge help. Like, he's going to make Sin look way better. It still doesn't help us with the leader skill issue, though, right? But getting him is a good step. Getting an EZA, even if this guy EZAs and we get a 160 leader skill and this guy is putting up like 2021 numbers, like that's a big buff right there, right? Then we can call that a more legit type of showcase. But yeah, 250k defense, he's raising on super. I'll throw him in slot 1. We're going to call this the last turn because there's nothing else we can see here, right? This is what he looks like. All links active, big bad bosses. He's supported. I mean, he's got full GT bosses. This is about what you're going to get on a 150 lead. The only way we can get better is a 170 lead or more support coming out. So yeah, 2.2 mil. Like, he's not insane. But I like him. I think he's good. Like I said, he just doesn't have the team around him. This might be kind of controversial, but I just did the EZA video on in Gohan. I kind of am more impressed with him than Gohan. Like, I'm not saying he's a better unit than Gohan. Like, that's a stretch, right? But in terms of, like, the improvement he got and, like, my excitement for the future, I like Sin Shenron better because he got a much bigger buff. And I think in the future, he's going to be a fun and good unit to have around. We just need that team to build up around him. Gohan, man, he was a letdown. I was disappointed. I'm going to make this last comment, so I'll just keep attacking as I do it. But and I know this is off topic for this video, but I just want to talk about Gohan really quick. I went into that video because I knew what I had seen and heard on JP, right? I really went into my video wanting to like him more. I wanted to be more impressed. I wanted to be like, maybe if he's in my hands and I'm using him, I'll like him more. And I was let down. Like, he's so disappointing. Like, it's so bad. That and literally that version of Gohan, like him and Majin Vegeta are my 2 favorite characters probably in all of Dragon Ball. And him and Majin Vegeta, their EZAs, they kind of got the shaft, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Majin Vegeta's not out on global, but it was kind of the same talks with him. Like, he's a little disappointing. We'll see, though. Obviously, I'll EZA that Majin Vegeta and test him out myself. But anyways, guys, well, there's Sin Shenron. Looking forward to the future with him, but he's a fantastic defensive unit, I'm not going to lie. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next one.